Hello everyone, this is Ahmed Zaki Al Jabali from Group Codics of the Software Construction Section 4. So I will be getting through the dependencies and the configuration of our project, which are one of the most important parts of any project. Let's get into the dependencies through the POM .xml file. The POM.xml file actually gives you lots of info. We can know the which version of Spring you are utilizing. As you can see over here, we can know which Java version we are utilizing. We can see the dependencies that we are utilizing. For example, we got the Spring Boot Starter JPA. So actually this one is really critical. It basically gives us or provide us with the Hypernet ORM and the Spring Data JPA. It makes it much more easier to deal with the database and reduces all the complexity. You don't really have to write raw SQL anymore, raw SQL queries. We can just extend the JPA repository, and yeah, it automatically update your schema. This is very useful. And next what we got is the Spring Boot Starter Web. This gives you everything you need to smoothly develop web applications through the Spring Boot framework. Basically it gives you it actually gives us an embedded Tomcat server and Spring MVC framework, and we are able through that to create REST APIs. And what we got next is we got the Spring Boot Dev Tools. It actually enables hot reload, which massively improve the productivity of your development. You don't really have to run the software, to run the code base every time you make a change. MySQL Connector J is your basically MySQL driver, really necessary to communicate with MySQL. Lompoc is just for reducing boilerplate code through actually utilizing annotations. And we got this basic Spring Boot Starter test dependency. Actually, let's get into the configuration. So main resources, okay, application properties. Here we can see the configuration. Okay, first of all, we got the data source URL. Okay, so basically this is the URL. As you can see, this is the MySQL code. As you can see, 33OZSX, and this is the bookwise database, the bookwise API database. We can get here we actually provide our username, our password, as well as our the driver, the MySQL driver. Next we got the JPA or Hypernet section. Here we actually enable DDL auto update. So basically you don't really need to update your schema every time by yourself. It automatically updates through your JPA repository. Next we got the show. So this is basically allow you to show SQL, basically allows you to show SQL queries in your console. And next we got the properties, Hibernate dialect or Hibernate format. Okay, this is just allows you to basically utilize a very specific version of SQL, like the MySQL specific SQL. And finally we got our port 8080, which Spring is famous for or popular for. And that is everything regarding dependencies and configuration. Next we will be actually getting into the structure of our project as well as testing the APIs, and we will be looking through a quick demo of our project. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ahmad Razan Akhawarizmi, so I'm handling about project structure and code implementation. Alright, so now we've gone over the setup. Let's look at how our code is structured. Looking at the sidebar, all our source code lives inside the column bookwise. So it's customized to our library domain. So we are using standard 4-layer architecture here, which keeps our database and business logic separated. First is model layer. So let's look at for book Java. All right. So book Java handles our GPA entities. It uses add entity and add table to link our MySQL data, and Lombok add data to skip handwriting getters and setters. The fields are just ID, title, author, ISBN, and status. So moving on to the repository, let's look at book repository.java. Next is repository layer. So it extends GPA repository for built-in database CRUD operation. We added custom method find by title containing ignore case, and the Spring Data automatically builds the query logic from that name. Okay, moving on the book service. All right. So in this code, it contains our business logic for all five operations: add, get all, uh, get by ID, and then update, delete. Instead of raw SQL, it handles the logic and cleanly passes the data to repository. Finally, book controller. All right. So it handles our REST endpoint. It's mapped to slash API slash books, routing the request to our features and returning standard JSON response with the proper HTTP status code. Okay, to wrap up, the controller gets a request and then it calls the service logic, and the service talks to the repository and it updates the MySQL. This is so the exact layout is for managing library for the books. I think that's for the code layout.
Greetings, Dr. Hani. My name is Rami Yassin, and today I will be presenting about testing the APIs using Postman for our project Assignment 2. So, in order for us to test the API, I utilized Postman. As you can see here, this is all the endpoints in our CRUD application. First of all, we have books. Let's say, for example, you want to create a book using Post API and getting the JSON body here with the title, author, and ISBN and availability. If I create send, as you can see, a new book is created with this name. We can change the names, for example. Let's let's say, for example, it's not available anymore, false, and change the name of the book, the grade, for example, and then it will be saved as ID3, and it's a new book. Now we can get the book by ID, for example, if we want to get the book with ID1, as you can see here, and then with ID2, this is the response from the API. It's working very well. And then we can get by title. Let's say, for example, the title is equal to Gypsy. So you can see here there are two ones with the same title, which is book record 1 ID 1 and book record ID 2. And great, for example, we'll get uh, this one also, which has the word the great. Okay, so and then we can update, of course, we can update the book using this format. Let's say, for example, we want to update one to become the revised edition. As you can see, now it's called the revised edition. Let's now get all the books and see all the books we have using this get API. You can see this is the new updated what's called records using the get API. And now it's the same thing can be done for members. Let's say we'll hand a new member using post API. Let's say, for example, we have Rami, and then we have Ahmed. You have to have a different email, for example. It has to be different email or different number, and then you can, as you can see, it's updated user 6. You can get you can delete members. You can get members by ID. Let's say, for example, we already did member 6, so let's get member 6, which is Ahmed, and then we can delete by ID. Now if we delete number 6, it's been deleted. So this is how you can update a book. You can get API, get a member, create a new member, and also get a member by ID. This is all for me for testing. We're using Postman for our CRUD application. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Walid Uthman and I will be demoing all the 5 different functionalities of the Bookwise library system. So the first functionality is adding a book, and then as you can see the book is successfully added. And then the next functionality is editing the book. So here we can change the name, You can change the author title, the ISBN, and as we can see it is successfully changed. And then we can also delete the third functionality. We can delete the physics book, or we can delete any book, and it's successfully deleted and removed. And then we can search for a specific book by title. So here, let's for example search for English. It will show us all the books that have English or like the specific keyword in them. Let's search for 5565. As you can see, it shows us all the books that has 5565 in them. And finally, for the last functionality, which is getting all the books and displaying them in here. So all the books are searched and displayed in here and listed down. And that's it for the Bookwise library system. Thank you for watching.